Hey, it's Shantal. Welcome to A Day With, where we talk to local business owners. And today we are spending the day with Alexis Pettway, owner of AP Travel Services and Poetic author. Here we talk and chill about how she maneuvers being an author, poet, wedding planner, and travel agent, y'all. She's so dope. She did our 2019 vacation. It was amazing. Let's go.
Sure. Hey, everybody. So my name is Alexis Pettway. I am the owner of AP Travel Services. We are a luxury Caribbean travel planning service. We specialize in groups for couples, families, business groups, friend groups. And I'm also the owner of A Poetic Author, which is my author brand. I'm a 7-time published author with 3 of my own self-published books, mainly poetry and weddings.
That's awesome. When I went on your website and I saw that, I said, "Dang, how you do all?" So what came first, the authoring, the poet, or the travel agent and the wedding planner?
So the author came first. I wrote my first book in first grade, so that came first. And then poetry came after. I started working weddings in 20. No, it was 20. I mean, so long ago. I got to think now. 20. Let's see. 2007. I started working weddings for the first time, and then travel came last.
Wow, you're an author since you were 7. It said on the website that you won the youth competition that they used to do back in the
Yes.
day.
Yes, they
Cool.
I don't know if they still do it, but in Bridgeport, but that's how I got into writing in elementary school. They would have the young authors competition in Bridgeport every year. So I entered first grade, second grade, third grade. I think I went all the way up to fifth grade entering the young authors competition.
Yeah, that's dope. I went to Wardersville and Winthrop for elementary school and middle school. And I remember they would have us like write something and then it would get all cute and they laminate it. So like make
Yes.
this is a
I
book
still
book.
have them. They're in my closet somewhere. All the books that I have.
Oh, so cute.
It was like a good way to get out of class because they would take you out of class to work on the book.
Yep. Then stretch it a little longer and be like, did I do this right? Did I put the period
Right?
here? Did I put it here? Or the comma?
More
Okay.
sentences. I need to draw another picture.
Right. So when did poetry come?
Poetry came in 7th grade, actually. I remember it was really random that it came. I was in geometry class, or no, it was a different class. I was in class and I wasn't paying attention. I was just kind of like staring at the window, and that's when my first poem came to me. And I've been writing ever since then.
Do you remember your first poem?
Yeah, it's actually called God's Work. I was looking out the window at the weather, and I started kind of comparing like the weather to making metaphors of the weather. And I one of the lines I included, you know how your grandmothers, when it's thunder and lightning, they're like, turn everything off, God's doing his work, be quiet, sit down. Just be silent. I included, a line in there like that. But yeah, just looking out the window and the weather that inspired like my first poem. So I called it God's Work because he's the author of the weather. So
Yeah. My favorite line from my grandma was like, turn everything off, turn the fan off, turn the light off.
I know, in the summer.
You can have the TV on, but that's about it. It's like, it's hot in here.
I mean, that's a little nice. We couldn't even have the TV on. I was like, sit, be quiet. You don't exist right now. Nothing.
So let's talk about your books. What was the first published book that you wrote as an adult?
Oh, the first published book was Journey Through Love. I actually wrote it in college. I was just writing the poems, and at the time I didn't write them with the mindset to write a book. But after like the subject I was writing about and the situation I was writing about, I was like, okay, this is kind of like the first time I have like a a group of poems like about one thing. 'Cause, I just write poems about different things. But this set of poems, they actually kind of like told like a story or a journey that I went through.
So after you
So
wrote that one, did you write a etiquette book on weddings?
yes, so that's my last book I wrote last year actually.
Oh.
Um I've been working weddings for 13 years. The last probably like 4 or 5 years, I've been in a couple of weddings. I'm doing destination weddings with my travel business. And I was just seeing like so much. I guess I was paying more attention of like what's going on behind the scenes and like how people just did not know what goes on behind the scenes behind planning a wedding from every standpoint. And I was like, you know what? I think they need some etiquette to know, what the real deal is, what goes on, behind closed doors. So I wrote Wedding Season Chronicles. It was kind of like a hashtag I came up with because during wedding season, I'll post pictures and videos of different weddings I'm doing. And I hashtag Wedding Season Chronicles. So that's what I called the book. And it's about wedding etiquette from everybody's standpoint that's involved in the wedding. There's a section for the bride and groom. There's a section for the bridal party. There's a section for the guests because they have the least etiquette. I work with them the most, so I see their lack of etiquette the most. um, and it's just so like you know what you're supposed to do, whatever role you're playing, and then you can get an understanding of what everyone else is supposed to do, so that you guys are all on the same page.
Yeah, that's dope. Because when I was going through your website, I was like, that's neat. A little weddings for dummies. I like that though, because you don't really think about it. Like you show up and you don't know that you're supposed to do A, B, and C, and you have to participate whether you're the bride or the groom or the guest. So I thought that was really dope. That's really, really dope.
Yeah, and most of it is before the day. All the craziness and the chaos happens like before the day, or people not doing what they're supposed to, or communication. And the cool thing that I think about this book is I interviewed brides and grooms. I interviewed people that were in bridal parties, like to get their stories and experiences on top of mine that I've had for like the past 13 years. So I thought, that was really cool. Like, don't listen to me, but there's people that actually got married, they went through the wedding process or been in weddings. So you can see like their points of view too of like what they thought lacked, what they did, what they didn't know. So I think that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's dope. That's really interesting. I'll make
Thank
sure I'll
you.
put everything I'll link everything so that people can check it
Okay.
out as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. Black owned business.
Yes.
Now, speaking of writing the etiquette book, you also have a service where you can write the vows.
Yes.
How'd you come up with that?
I've been writing poems for so long, and people ask me to write poems all the time. So I just incorporate it into my business. I write wedding vows, I write wedding poems, whether it's for the bride or groom wanting to say a poem to each other, or a guest wanting to give a poem as a gift. So like one of the first ones I wrote, it was for a mother of the bride. She wanted me to write a poem about her daughter and her fiance. So I asked for details and stuff so that I can kind of get like a feel and the picture of what I'm going to write. I had never met the groom before. And she told me when she gave it to them, because I framed it and everything and gift wrapped it for her because it was a gift. So she said when the groom read it, he said like he was crying. And he said, he wants that poem on his tombstone. And I was like, oh my gosh, really? And when I finally met him, like he gave me a hug and he was like, that poem was beautiful, like, especially because you never met me. So yeah, that was like really like shocking and touching to me.
Oh, because it's so again, what you do is really, really awesome because I don't really think about things like that, but to have someone like a poet write how you feel about somebody when, let's say, like you're not really expressive, but to have someone else write it for you, it's like y'all are connected now. So
yeah, and and that's what I have to do. I have to put myself in like people's emotions and thoughts. So I do have a questionnaire like when someone orders a poem, because I just so the wedding poems and the wedding vows, that's a service on its own. But then I have a standard poetry writing service that people can order poems for anything. I wrote poems for funerals for people, for birthdays, for anniversaries, pretty much any occasion. And every time I ask them questions, I kind of have to get into their thoughts and their feelings based on what they're telling me. So it's pretty cool. I do a lot of meditating.
I was gonna ask you too, how is that mentally? Because you're committing to something that, like, you're just walking in onto something that's been going on for a while. So how do you decompress? Because I'm pretty sure it can get really deep.
It's easy for me because I've been doing it for so long. So like for me, even writing poems for me, like once they're out of me, like I'm good. Like I'm saying, like there's nothing like left in me. I have this quote where I say, poetry is my soul and ink, because once it's out there, it's out there. Like
one more time.
I say, poetry is my soul and ink. Because that's why I literally just get things off of my spirit, my soul. So when I'm writing for someone else, I don't really take that on like deep into me. I take it on for like the moment, but then once I have the words out, like all that emotion is in the words. It's like no longer in me.
That's Def Poetry Jam.
Yeah.
I like that. Wow. So now let's talk about the traveling agent. What made you want to start?
So what made me become a travel agent was being an author. I was going to, it was like, a natural progression. I was going to different states, to different author events. And this lady was like, hey, you can get discounts, like you're traveling, to all these different places, like, you can become a travel agent. So it kind of started off as a thing for me to help me when I'm traveling with my books to these different places. But as I started to like learn more, I'm like, okay, like I started to take it a little bit more seriously. I think the trip that for me, I did a lot of traveling like domestically in college, like all throughout the East Coast and everything. And I started only traveling kind of as an adult because my family are not travelers at all. Our traveling was going to the amusement park in White Plains. I forget the name of it right now. But that was our traveling. Yes, Playland. That was our traveling.
You will go there every year, man.
Every year. That was it. White Plains, like that was it. Nothing else. But in college, I started to travel a little bit more and, started learning about travel once I became a travel agent. And I think like my favorite place to go, like it's like super simple, but like my favorite place to go is Mexico. I've been there 3 times. I'm going there like in a couple of months. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite places to go internationally.
Wow.
They have a lot of different areas. It's a really big country. I've been there 3 times and I've not been to the same area.
Wow.
All 3 times.
Wow.
This time I'm going for a business trip. So I am going back to like Cancun area, but other trips I was not in the same area each time I went.
Wow. That's cool. I like seeing people travel, but then I like seeing Black people travel. Because no, I do, because now, especially what's going on, you want to see the world because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Is going to be something different. So, exactly. But you do luxury travel.
Yes, and to the Caribbean.
Yes. What made you just stick to the Caribbean instead of like Alaska or something like that? Like, why the Caribbean?
The Caribbean is kind of like my first area that I started booking in. And just me like learning and like seeing the different resorts, visiting different resorts and learning about different resorts. And I'm kind of a luxury traveler myself. My friends know me already. And when I say I'm going somewhere, they're like, how much is it? They know they gotta spend some money. They know how I travel. And then, you know, you're looking at all these beautiful resorts and stuff. And it's like, all right, this is what I want to do. Like, this is the area I want to go in. This is how I travel. I know other people like travel like this too. They like, you know, the upgraded service, amenities, exclusive experiences, learning about cultural experiences. That's high for luxury travelers, like the learning the culture and the history. A lot of them do that. But yeah, so just the way I travel and then learning about travel, that's what made me want to stick with luxury travel. And then me visiting the Caribbean and visiting different resorts, I'm like, this is where I want to focus right now, because, you know, if you're focusing on all the destinations in the world, like by yourself, that's a lot to remember. And you kind of don't get a chance to really delve deep into what you're specializing in. So last year I really niched down what I wanted to focus on, because that's where all my learning is concentrated. That's where all my travel is concentrated, so that I can better serve my clients.
How long did it take you to get, do you have to have like a travel license?
No, you don't have to have a travel license. There's a lot of MLM network marketing companies or multi-level marketing companies that you can build a team and then also book travel. But I am with just a online host company. So pretty much you sign up, you pay a monthly fee, and then you start doing your training. There is levels to being a travel agent. This past year, I just hit a goal that I had, which is to be IATA accredited. It comes with a host of different benefits. It pretty much allows you to do more as a travel agent. But you can get, you know, different accreditations to build up, you know, your credibility to your clients. So I have, you know, certain destinations accredited to me. I have, like I said, I'm an IATA card holder now, which I'm super excited about. So there's not an official license, but there are accreditations that you can get, you know, for whatever you're specializing
in. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It took me a couple years. I'm there.
Hey, you're going to get there. You're going to get there at this rate. Trust me. So how was your businesses during the pandemic? We're still in it, but how was it when it started, and now how's it going?
They were pretty much non-existent during the pandemic. But right now I'm really, really busy right now. This month and next month in March, they're called a wave season for travel agents, because this is when people start planning their vacations for the most part throughout the year. So I actually have a client, she left for Vegas today. So like I said, I want to clear it up. I do focus on luxury Caribbean. My current or past clients, they have the VIP status to be able to book a few domestic locations. And I do that as a VIP for people that have already worked with me. But for new clients, it's strictly the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm really busy. I have a lot of groups. I have my own group. Last year, I started the annual Entrepreneur Vacay. So last year we went to Phoenix, Arizona. It was a small group of us, which I wanted it to be 9 of us. We went to Phoenix, Arizona for 4 days. And we had a couple workshops. We went out, we had fun. We were at the pool, lazy river. We ate, just networked with each other. Like, it was amazing. So I'm planning my second annual one for later this year as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited.
No, that's awesome though, because compared to, you know, what was going on in the beginning, it's nice to see people back out there, and, you know, little by little. You still gotta be careful, but to for you to have like your own little team, and you have your own little network of people that understand like what's going on, and you guys can like trade stories and things like that. That's awesome. So I'm very happy for you that you got something like that.
Thank you. I'm hoping to have a little bit more people this year. It was actually nice because there was people from different states that came. So Chicago, New Jersey, North Carolina, and a few people from Connecticut. So it was great.
That's awesome. That's cool, man.
Thank you. I'm happy everybody's traveling.
Yeah.
Last year I did travel with my sister and it was empty. I mean, it was actually a good time to travel last year because it was so empty everywhere. It was nice. We were on a resort. Nobody was near us. We're on the plane. Like, it was like an amazing time to travel because, before COVID,
Yeah.
you go in the summer, everywhere, everything's crowded. But last year it was smooth sailing. I actually went to Mexico last year.
They probably know your name down there, girl.
I know. I'm about to have dual citizenship.
That's cool. Well, those are all like the typical questions I wanted to ask you. So now I can ask you like the fun stuff. Not that was fun before, but this is like extra fun. Okay.
Ooh, all right, let's go.
Okay. Poems or novels?
Poems.
Poems. Would you rather write 5 poems for a year or 1 novel every 5 years?
I probably would write poems because like my grammar, like people think because I write poems, I'm like an amazing writer. And I'm a decent like writer, but my grammar is like not novel status. Like I literally write in poetry and I talk in poetry. So me writing a novel, it would be super duper hard. Like I could write, 5 poems with my eyes closed. But me writing a novel, it would probably take me that 5 years.
Oh, girl, Alexis, this Grammarly.
The editor would probably tear my novel apart.
All the red little squiggles.
Yeah, they would be like, no, you got to redo this whole thing. But poetry, you don't need an editor, so I'm good on that.
That's true. Okay. So your favorite place to visit besides Mexico?
My favorite place to visit, I love DC.
Really?
Yes, I love DC. I want to move there one day. I love DC.
Wow. I've been there once for a sophomore trip in high school. And I got so mad because I saw the White House. I was like, what the hell? It's all small. What is I was like, what is this? They lied to me.
They probably got all types of tunnels in there.
I know.
You gotta go there in DC. It's fun, especially in the summer. I love DC.
If someone asked you, I want to travel, where would you point the direction to, saying you should start here?
They wanted to travel like domestically or like internationally?
One for domestic, then one for internationally.
Okay, so domestically, all right, this is kind of hard because I usually ask people 1,000 questions before I give them like, answer a suggestion. But if they want to travel somewhere domestically, I would say Georgia, Atlanta. I like Atlanta too. It's so much stuff to do, like either like culturally or just in general. Like they have stuff going on like every day, all day. And it's very influential for like Black businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of history to it too. It has some beautiful parts. I would say start with Georgia. And then internationally, I would say the Bahamas. The Bahamas, they're close to the US, they're not far. So, someone going internationally for the first time, they probably want like, semi-short flight. So the Bahamas or the Bermuda, I would either of those two, because they're pretty close to the US.
Okay. I haven't been to the Bermuda though. I'm kind of scared because of the Bermuda Triangle. Is that real?
It's not near Bermuda.
Oh, right.
Bermuda is actually like close to North Carolina. It's off the coast of there. So their weather is semi-similar to the weather down there.
Oh, okay. Do you prefer writing digitally or on pen and paper?
That's easy. Pen and paper. I had someone type my poems in my wedding book for me because I don't know, it's just so tedious to type all that stuff online, but like writing it on pen and paper is just, natural to me.
Not even a typewriter?
No, I'm like, I have to write it. I don't know, maybe because like I feel it more like with the pen and paper, and typing it just kind of feels like I'm typing like email or paper or something like that. There's no emotion to that typing. Pen and paper, like you can scratch it out, like your thoughts come out, but yeah, easily pen and paper.
I knew you were gonna say pen and paper. You're a pen and paper type. I can see that. I can see that.
I'm a traditional.
You must have a lot of journals then.
I have a lot of notebooks. A funny story. I used to sleep with notebooks under my pillow until maybe about like 5 years ago.
Ow!
Yeah, ever since I was younger, I would sleep with notebooks in my pillow because sometimes I would like be dreaming and I would dream like part of a poem. So I would wake up and just write it really quick and go back to sleep.
Wow.
So yeah, I do have a lot of notebooks. Now I've kind of gotten a little tech savvy. So if a poem comes to me, I'll roll over and like type it in my phone really quick and then go back to sleep. But then like I'll finish writing it like on a notebook or something.
Yeah. Hey, that's still cool though. I still write with pen and paper, but
yeah, I mean, technology is good for some stuff, but pen and paper, it never found me.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. What's your favorite platform?
I think mine is Facebook.
Facebook.
Because I don't know, I think like I talk more on Facebook and like the conversations are more easier for me to have on Facebook. The other platforms, they're like more video and picture focused. And Facebook, mostly it is picture and video, but like a lot of people are writing statuses. So I like Facebook.
Okay. Do you have any tips for creators in the business world?
Tips for creators in the business world?
Yes.
I do automation. That's really been big for me, like leveling up my automation and having systems, because if you don't have a system and like you start to get busy, you're getting more clients or getting more sales. If you don't have a system, like it's really easy for things to fall through the cracks. Even sometimes with a system, like you kind of have to like go through it and like get the kinks and everything out, but it's better than not having a system. And like I said, automating things, gives you time for other things, growing your business instead of like working full time in your business. So those are my two tips: automation and having systems for your business.
Anything you learned from where you started and new lessons that you've learned now?
From when I started, I would say really focus on, what it is specifically you want to do. For example, somebody will say, I want to plan trips for people. It's like, okay, like what kind of trips? Who's it for? Even me, like learning to really like focus on what I want to do, who I want to serve, who that person is, what they do. So that's one thing I've learned, especially back in the day. I was doing author events, or I was doing events for my book. And at first I was doing any and every event. And I quickly learned that I need to focus on picking and choosing which events would, be better for me in my business. Some events, they're not coming there to buy books. They don't care about that, but I had to learn that, where are my people going to be that are interested in not just books, but what I've written. So I think that's one of the first lessons I learned back then, getting me to where I am now. And what I'm learning now is to keep learning, keep, innovating, keep, updating, because things change. So you have to keep up. So I'm learning that now. Keep innovating, keep changing, keep bettering your business, keep bettering yourself, because it's only going to help you in the long run.
Yeah. Yay! Thank you. Alexis,
Thanks for
Plug.
having me.
No problem. Plug away. Where can people find you? What are you doing next? Please talk about the hat. Go.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'll start with my hat. So AP Travel Services has a travel accessory line, custom designed travel accessory line. You can find it at travelingstyles.com. I design all of the products. We have different type of bags. We have different type of hats. This is one of our bucket hats. We have hats for winter travel. We have travel mugs. So definitely check us out to get some accessories for your next vacation. You can start your vacation planning at aptravelservices.com. You can find my books at apoeticauthor.com. I am on social media on Facebook as Alexis Pettway. So you can follow me there. And I am on Instagram. I have a few Instagrams, but I'll give you one. The AP Travel Services on Instagram. You can find me there. And what I'm doing next, I am doing a few things. I am releasing our second collection for Traveling Styles, our Into the Wild collection. So I'm super excited about that.
Ooh.
I'm super excited about that. And I am hosting my second annual Entrepreneur Vacay. I'm hoping to get those details out by the beginning of next month. So all you entrepreneurs and business owners can join me to have fun, to learn about, how to improve your business and to relax.
Nice. Thank you so much, Alexis. Y'all, I'll put everything in the description box. Y'all give her a follow. Support Black businesses. Support women, Black women. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Much love.
Thank you. Okay, Miss Thing, we is good.
Thank you, Alexis, for spending the day with us. Y'all, isn't she dope? Please make sure you check her out. Everything is listed in the description down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And that has been A Day With. Thank you so much. Take care.